Say, man, welcome to 2025, man, where the lawsuits and the criminal charges continue to be a threat to those in privileged positions, man. This time, man, just to start the new year off, man, we got Skip Bayless on the other end of one of these, man. You dig what I'm saying, man? And I had to come through and chop it up with y'all about this, man. This is a 42-page document. We not gonna go through it all. I'm not gonna go through it all. I read it. It's a whole bunch of nothing for the most part. They telling every little intricate detail of when somebody went out and had drinks, every single thing they said. And I know y'all don't care nothing about that, and y'all ain't got time for all of that. So we really just gonna kick it with all of the salaciousness of it all. That's right, man, because we got Charlie Dixon, which is an executive at Fox News Sports, Skip Bayless, you all know who he is, and JoyTaylor. You should be familiar with her if you watch ESPN, man. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this lawsuit was filed January the 3rd, 2025 at 11:46 a.m. That's right, man. These folks got it done before lunchtime. That means they got up, got dressed, had breakfast, kicked it for a little piece, and headed straight to the goddamn courthouse to file this lawsuit, man, because they trying to get to the bag with no time to waste, man. This young lady name is Nushin Faraji. You dig what I'm saying? And like I said, we not gonna go through it all, but it does have a lot in it. So let's get to it, man. We're not gonna talk about that, man. That's talking about the people that's named in the lawsuit there: Charlie Dixon, JoyTaylor, Skip Bayless. JoyTaylor is a star in this too. Yeah, her and Skip Bayless, yeah, they was supporting, they had supporting roles in this lawsuit here, man. So we ain't gonna talk about that. That's talking about, well, you know, how much money them folks made, this, that, and the other. So this is when we really get to it. Mr. Dixon gives Miss Taylor undisputed as a reward for having sex with him. And it talks about, you know, how that whole process went. And I got a little clip too I'ma share with y'all before we really dive deep into this, because JoyTaylor, she had a whole lot to say about how hard she worked, and you know how she had to be exceptional to rise through the ranks and get everything she had. She had to be, you know, she had to be perfect. She had to say, she couldn't say no. She had to say yes to everything, and she had to bust her behind to get to where she got. And I don't, after reading this, I don't think that's the case. You dig what I'm saying? Because without reading all of this word for word, I'll give y'all a quick summary. So JoyTaylor didn't have any TV experience. JoyTaylor was in Miami working at a bar. I think she was a bottle girl or something like that at a club. You dig what I'm saying? Then she leave Miami and go to LA to get started on this venture. And so basically what happened was they alleging that you know, she got her foot in the door, and she was getting bust down by big wigs at Fox to get on these shows. As you heard in that, you know, as I just said a few minutes ago, Mr. Dixon gives Miss Taylor, JoyTaylor, undisputed as a reward for having sex with him. And so it went on like that. Every time Joy Taylor went to another show, she was gifted those shows. That's what they're alleging in this lawsuit, because she had done, slept around with some folks, and that's how she got in these positions. Because again, she didn't have TV experience. You understand me? She was working at a club. So for you to leapfrog, all of the hard work you said you put in to get to where you at, she went straight from a club straight to the TV screen. So that's not entirely true. It's cool to say you had to do all of these things, the right way, and bust your behind and be on time and never be late and be exceptional and never turn anything down. You always had to say yes, 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 yes. Then we find out in a lawsuit and paperwork filings like this that you just simply slept your way to the top, allegedly. So, this is what some of these folks out here do. You understand me? Now, I'm not saying that this is true or not. These are all allegations at this point. But people love to, do things like this, like they're alleging, sleep your way to the top, and then once you get there, you want to tell everybody else to, oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh, all you got to do is work hard. You got to work harder than everybody else because you're a woman. This is a man's world. You gotta be exceptional. You can't be average. You can't be basic. You can't be mediocre. You have to be there before the lights turn on and leave after the lights turn off. You understand me? So let's keep it pushing, because JoyTaylor will come up again in just a few seconds. So moving right along, man. Mr. Dixon gets rid of female talent member for refusing to have sex with him. This is another woman that Charlie Dixon was, had propositioned. Obviously, allegedly, JoyTaylor went for it, and, thus we got the outcome of her, being on several shows within Fox and making millions of dollars. So several years into Miss Faraji's tenure at Fox, a female talent member, Anonymous, hired Miss Faraji to do her hair at her house for an award show. Anonymous asked that Miss Faraji meet her for lunch first. There, Anonymous told Miss Faraji that she would no longer be working with Fox, as Mr. Dixon told her that she would need to have sex with him if she wanted to renew her contract, but she had refused. Anonymous further conveyed that Mr. Dixon was doing this to other women talent. She should warn Miss Taylor to be careful, and a talk show host had recently reported Mr. Dixon. Following the lunch, Miss Faraji called JoyTaylor to convey that Anonymous had stated. Mrs. Taylor responded that no one gives a F about Anonymous or the talk show host who had reported Mr. Dixon. So basically, JoyTaylor didn't want to hear all of that. JoyTaylor did not want to hear Miss Faraji coming to tell her how things work over there at Fox News. I don't give a F. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about, what kind of proposition was made to whoever this young lady is. I don't care. You understand me? Why would JoyTaylor care? JoyTaylor was allegedly sleeping with a couple of folks over there already at this point, so she didn't want to hear about nobody trying to be the resistance to how things work at Fox. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you got big wigs up there. If they want to bust you, hey, you gonna let me bust you? I'm gonna put you in a position so you can win. That's how it go. That's how they get down over there. JoyTaylor was married also while she was doing all of this alleged moving and shaking, because not only was she sleeping with Charlie Dixon at Fox, she was allegedly sleeping with Emmanuel Ocho as well. And they had their little thing going on. And it was a beef about that as well, because Miss Faraji told JoyTaylor at some point, because they was cool. They got cool when Joy went to LA, and the lady got hired, they was kicking it or whatever. So the young lady, Miss Faraji, who filed this lawsuit, told JoyTaylor at some point, look, I don't think you should be sleeping with Charlie Dixon and Emmanuel Ocho, because you married. And also, we work with this company. What if they find out? You might lose your job. At that point, JoyTaylor felt like she had enough juice and enough skin in the game. She replied back to Miss Faraji, I got power now. I got a little control now over how everything get done and how it go down now. So I don't really care. I'm gonna work my move how I work my move. I'm gonna do what got me here. You understand me? And a little time passed, and JoyTaylor eventually gets a divorce once her husband find out everything that she got going on with sleeping around with these folks at Fox to get where she at. And at that point, obviously she don't care. I was working at a club. I done came out here. I done fucked my way to the top. I'm getting money now. I'm getting M's. So I don't care. You want to scram, buddy? Scram. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to survive or to get my money or to get whatever I want. So that's how that whole thing went down. Then we get to the man of the hour. Skip Bayless begins to give Miss Faraji lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast. After the reporting by the talk show host fell on deaf ears, Mr. Bayless began requesting that Miss Faraji give him a haircut once a week in the makeup room. Miss Faraji did as she was told, as Miss Peretti required Miss Faraji to give haircuts to talent. Initially, during the haircut, Mr. Bayless requested Miss Faraji to do her hair. Boy, I tell you, this is quite the gumbo, people. This thing is filled with predatory practices, racism, sexual harassment. I mean, it's all in here, man. It's all in here, boy. If you want to get to that money, man, this the type of stuff they don't talk about. When we see it air on TV, that's one thing. But boy, behind them scenes, sheesh, somebody be up underneath a skirt, Jack. You hear me? Then it goes on to say Miss Faraji is targeted because of her ethnicity. They talked about them being at some steakhouse having a dinner, and somebody snapped off on Miss Faraji, said F you Persian bitch. And, that whole thing happened. So that's where they get the racist part. And then we get back to Skip Bayless. And this one says, Miss Faraji believes she has cancer and conveys this to Mr. Bayless in an attempt to stop his advances, only to have him offer her $1.5 million to have sex. Over the years, Mr. Bayless continued to make advances to Miss Faraji, lingering hugs, kisses on the cheek, and inappropriate comments that he could change her life if she acquiesced to having sex. Miss Faraji would always make excuses regarding her son, politely change the subject, or make a joke, anything to keep Mr. Bayless appeased and her job safe. Mr. Bayless then grabbed her hand, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex. Miss Faraji made an excuse to leave. It also goes on to say Miss Faraji responded, "Skip, stop. You have a wife." Mr. Bayless responded, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 or 4 wives?" Miss Faraji responded that her father was dead, and when Mr. Bayless looked taken back, she made an excuse to leave. That boy Skip Bayless ain't give a damn about this woman having cancer. He turned right around and propositioned her. Like, I got 1.5. Shit, what's up? You trying to do something or not? Yeah, I'm Skip Bayless. God damn it, I run shit around here. I got 1.5, nigga. What's happening? He trying to get in them drawers, Jack. I don't care nothing about you dying. Let me get it. I get it half dead, baby. Yeah, man. Moving right along, man. Miss Faraji's job is threatened because she does not sleep with Mr. Bayless. So what we got here? Just do what you need to do. It's okay. Miss Faraji asked him what was wrong. He replied, "Same stuff, whores." Miss Faraji, concerned about her own job, walked into Mr. Bayless' fitting room to see if everything was okay. Mr. Bayless answered the door, and before Miss Faraji could speak, he began to angrily accuse Miss Faraji for effing Shannon Sharpe. And, it goes on about that. Skip go on and on about that, too, for a while. He lashed out at her about that several times, accusing her of sleeping with Shannon Sharpe, which was why he probably, had an issue with Shannon Sharpe and, took personal shots often at Shannon Sharpe when Shannon Sharpe was on Undisputed. But I digress. On April 14, 2022, Mr. Bayless texts Miss Faraji, "If you're distracted tomorrow, I'll wait till Monday, but I can't keep doing this." Miss Faraji told him that she was very confused. Mr. Bayless responded, "Trust me, I'm far more confused." Miss Faraji then explained over text that she is not sleeping with Mr. Sharpe. Mr. Bayless did not respond. On April 16, 2022, Mr. Bayless called Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji did not answer the call because she was scared. She then called him back 10 minutes later. On the call, Mr. Bayless again angrily accused her of sleeping with Mr. Sharpe and said that he could tell from her body language she was effing Shannon Sharpe. It goes on to say Mr. Bayless then arrived in the makeup room for Miss Faraji to cut his hair in accordance to his regular schedule. Mr. Bayless knew that the makeup room was always recorded and clearly stated this room is bugged during their conversation. Mr. Bayless stated that he would hate for her to have to lose her job. She responded by reiterating that being polite to Mr. Sharpe is part of her job. Mr. Bayless responded by saying, "Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on you." Mr. Bayless then warned that he doesn't want her to lose her job over this. Miss Faraji responded that she wasn't going to lose her job because she is a great hairdresser. Mr. Bayless responded, "I love you. I have for 6 years, and you hurt me, and you are ruining this." Miss Faraji began responding that she must be polite to all talent. Mr. Bayless then implied that if he stopped requesting her, it would affect her job. Miss Faraji responded that she has scheduled work every morning at 5:45. And if he would like to get his hair done, he is welcome to sit in her chair. Mr. Bayless continued to threaten her job. Ms. Faraji knew that he was trying to pressure her into having sex with him, but she kept repeating that she was a professional that had to be kind to all talent. Skip went on, going back and forth, talking about he loved her, this, that, and the other. And so that's the whole spiel, man. But to get back to JoyTaylor, because I did say I had a clip about her, going on and on about how hard she worked to get to where she is. But this paperwork, this lawsuit, and the breakdown with her name being mentioned multiple times, plenty of times, not just about her sleeping with folks, but her attitude toward people that was trying to, be the resistance within Fox about everything that was going on and the sleeping around, and that's just how it was being done at Fox. And JoyTaylor didn't want to hear that, but she said in this clip how hard she worked. Take a listen to the content.
How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you got to do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that's just going to make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average. I couldn't be okay. I couldn't be late. I couldn't complain. I couldn't say no. Now I do.
But if these allegations in this lawsuit are true, then everything she just said was some bullshit, because she just simply slept her way to the top. Not worked hard, bust her ass, and, always was on time, and all of this other shit that she just said. All that's some bullshit for real. Because you came from Miami, you went to LA, you got hooked up with some of the right people, you got your foot in the door, and then you just slid from mushroom tip to mushroom tip all the way to the top. You dig what I'm saying? Just seesawing. You understand me? That's what happened. That's what they saying happened, allegedly. So, to act like you just, you was this talented person that just outworked everybody, and that's why you so great and so excellent. That's why you in the position that you in today, because you're so great. And this paperwork say different, because you were screwing around with everybody, allegedly. That's how you got there. That makes shit a whole lot easier when you fucking everybody to get to the top. You understand me? So don't be looking down on folks and, talking about folks ain't working hard enough when you ain't even work hard to get where you got. So that's all I'm saying. If these allegations are true, you dig what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to Skip Bayless, if these allegations are true, I will say this. I don't really care what Skip Bayless accountability looks like. I just want it to be covered, as it would a Bill Cosby, as it would a Robert Kelly, as it would a Sean Combs, as it would a Sean Carter. I want this to be talked about often. I want it to be talked about as much as they can possibly talk about it on these sports shows. You dig what I'm saying? Because if it was the other way around, we see that they talk about it often. So I just want it to be balanced. That's the only thing that I want. I don't care what his accountability look like if these accusations are true. You dig what I'm saying? It is what it is. I say that about all of them. If you get if it's found out to be true that you did something to somebody and you wronged somebody, it is what it is. Take your lick. I just want it to be balanced in terms of coverage. And don't talk about it today and tomorrow and then, don't talk about it no more. Y'all discuss it. Break it down and talk about it. Because Fox got a bunch of brothers that they pay over there, that sit on them panels. And if it was any of them brothers, or ESPN or anywhere, if it was Shannon, Sharpe, or Emmanuel, Ocho, or any of them brothers, if it was any of them brothers over there, then this will be talked about. And it'll be a bigger campaign than I think what's going on right now with Skip Bayless. So, it is what it is. I just be wanting it to be balanced, bro. Like, talk about these folks the same way y'all talk about everywhere else. It's the same thing, bro. It be the same allegations, but it don't get talked about and covered as much. So for Skip Bayless, that's all I want, because at this point, he not working nowhere. He ain't got nothing to lose. He ain't got a job to lose. He ain't on no network right now. So, It's just about, a bag, really. So that's all he got. That's all he stand to lose. He don't stand to lose a job because, he ain't on TV right now. So fair treatment, man. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. Don't just let this fall by the wayside after y'all chat about it today. Like talk about it. Follow this. I'll get at y'all on the next one, man. Y'all be smooth. I'm out.